gentlemen, welcome to Bubba's Corners. We are going to go live here. See how this turns out. There we go. Oh, I got it working. Alright, let's see. Where the hell is that damn chat at? There it is. Oh, I see how that works. Okay, now I got it. It won't be in that one. So, we're going to have to be in studio mode. I can look at the chat down here. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so there's one more. Okay, use studio mode off. There we go. I won't see this chat over here. It's right here. But it's down here instead. Let's see. Top chat. Well, anyways, my name's Bubba. That's my nickname. I was given that name years ago by a dear friend of mine. And he gave me the nickname. I didn't know it at the time, but you know, Bubba down south is a nickname for a friend of loyalty, just a good-hearted person. So he gave that to me. He's been gone now for about 9 years. He died, 9 years ago, or was it 10 years ago, in this last Easter. But anyways, what he calls me Bubba. Rebuilding a channel. I live streamed for a couple years on the road when I got my first laptop, way before all this YouTube started blowing up, and I'm not receiving data. Not receiving data. What's going on here? What the heck? Oh, I gotta change something here. What is it? CPU is running up there. That's 12%. Framework 23%. Let's see. I have to change that. I gotta learn all this stuff. Oh, now it says my stream is excellent. So anyways, I don't know if you guys see this the chat line here. I'm just playing around with it. I guess it plays in a different place, and that'll be my full screen there now. I'm starting to understand why it's better to have two monitors like I got now. So anyways, like I said, I live streamed for a couple years on the road, and I put my GPS had a camera looking out towards the front, and I hooked it up and just drove all around the United States in my big truck. And I had people from Australia and France and Spain and England and a couple other places I can't remember. But I think I had something like 1,600, 1,500 followers that would follow my stream. Oh, then I came home and worked road construction because my wife wanted me at home for a while, so I came home. And when I went back out on the road, it was the channel went under, or the website went under. Excuse me, I bad habit. But we're sitting here shooting the breeze, and that's what the channel's going to be about, basically. I got heat press back behind me where I'm going to make my merch, my t-shirts and stuff. I got it all set up. I got one thing left to do with that printer. I had to change it over to what they call a sublimation ink, as that ink, the regular ink will wash out in the t-shirt, you know, a couple times it's gone. Sublimation, you heat it up and it turns to a gas, and it gets into the materials and binds with the particles in it. Same with my hat press and my coffee and mug and plate presses. They gotta have a certain plate to do it with, certain kind, you know. So I'm selling them on the side, and I'm just trying to get a side hustle. Come out of the road 3.5 years ago because of health problems, and a pacemaker and a defibrillator put in. I got a thing where I won't have a heart attack. I won't feel it come on. My heart will just stop. sudden heart death or sudden heart syndrome or something like that. Anyways, these pictures that are rolling along. There's a bike I was supposed to be working on that shovel. I lost a picture. There's my old truck, my first one I owned, and I worked for a company called Desperado. That kind of fit. There I was when I was a young buck working out in the oil fields, man. It seems like centuries ago, you know. Still good looking though. Yeah, there's my beautiful family, my wife, my 3 beautiful daughters. We finally got married. We were together 20 years before we got married. And there's me before I trimmed that beard, you know. I still had to keep my sign of wisdom, you know. It's gray hair, the crown of wisdom. It says so in the Bible, you know. And there's my shop. I was going to retire. That year I came out of the truck. I wanted to finish the potato harvest. I was working local, but I was gone all the time because I was busting my ass working 18 hours a day. And I would have had enough money from that potato harvest to get that shop of mine going. I had a Tough Book, Panasonic Tough Book. That's the kind of computers, laptops that the military uses and cops use them. You know, you can throw it up in the air while it's running, and you hit the pavement, it's still working. You blast it with a guard hose, it's still working. You run it over with my pickup truck, it's still working. Oh, them sons of bitches are tough. But yeah, so I'm just trying to get a side hustle going. But there's a lot of things I want to talk about on this new channel. I haven't even quite figured out what my name's going to be on it, you know. My original 2 websites I had was Bubba's Corners and Bubba's Truck Stop. One was basically just truck drivers, and the other one was to share information with 4-wheelers, you know, so they, you know, maybe we could learn how to, you know, get along on the road and not try to kill each other all the time, you know. And I had counselors on there for people that were suffering from depression, because I run into Miles City years back, and the old Flying J there, truck driver blew his brains out, and it just kind of really, I don't know, rubbed me, I don't know if that's even a word. It put me in this mindset, like, you know, man, you know, people don't really give a shit about this truck driver. They want your goods. Oh, out on the road, well, they'll piss you off, they'll piss at you, they'll spit at you, they'll cut you off, you know, give you the finger, and, you know, throw shit at your truck, you know, and treat you like shit. But everything they got is from a truck driver, you know. But that's the same thing with God, you know. Everybody ridicules God, and He gave us everything, you know. I used to be I'm a recovering drug addict. I've been clean now for shit. 35 years now. But it took my youngest daughter almost dying with some of my product in her mouth that I was selling from my boss. I flushed it down the toilet, and I had to get away from my family and everybody, because yeah, it was tough. Well, I just couldn't leave that shit alone, you know. But I got off it, and it took me a couple more years, and then I found Christ. After my brother Greg died from diabetes, man, I had a vision that he was called up by an angel, you know. Call it wishful thinking or what, but from what I've seen, see, 25 years driving over the road, I've seen things that people, they don't understand, you know. You look at most people today, they never even get out of the city they live in. They never even get out of the neighborhood they live in. So they really don't know anything about the world. All they see is on TV. Everything they see on TV. That's why they call them programs that you watch, because they program you, right? Look at the difference between the news today. You know, you got the left media and you got the right media. You know, back in the day it was just media, you know, and they had some good reporters back in the day. But I watched it slowly turn, and you know, I used to vote Democrat, you know, because I believe that shit. Well, the Republicans is just for rich people. You know, they don't care about us common folks. Let me tell you, brothers and sisters, man, that Democratic Party's been dead for a long time, and they're the ones that started the KKK and all that Jim Crow shit you hear about, you know, and everything. I've learned over the years, okay, and I watch every kind of news you can think of, and I love the independents that are out there doing the news. They bring you the real news. And it's not shit you like to hear because America's been, sugar coated with everything. Americans have gotten so fat and lazy that we've had it for so good for so long that they take everything for granted. Now they got this generation where me, gimme, 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 gimme. No, nobody goes out and really tries to make a living anymore. Well, I take that back because with this thing about Trump, I favored Rand Paul or Dr. Carson when I was going, because I read Dr. Carson's book, and I liked Rand Paul's dad. He was a real trailblazer, man. And I don't know, man. The Democratic Party's died. It's the Communist Party now. Oh, we want socialism. Well, what do you think communism is? It's just the watered down version. Eventually you end up with full communism. I'm telling you, man. I was stationed over in Germany before the fall of the wall, and most of the youngsters out there don't even know what I'm talking about. And I'm talking even in your 20s. You guys don't know nothing. It's only the only ones that really know anything today are ones that have a family that the father is in the home, and that was hard on my wife. I was trucking all them years, and she was left at home alone with my 3 rowdy daughters, and it beat her up pretty bad, and I found out she had bipolar, and I didn't believe that shit at first, and I found out it is real, but so many people play it, everybody wants to be a victim nowadays, everybody wants to whine and cry. Nobody wants to come up with a positive solution like that shooting that just happened. Oh, we got to get rid of guns, we got to get rid of guns, we got to get rid of guns. Why do you think the Second Amendment is there? Our forefathers escaped from a tyrannical government, right? They knew exactly what they were doing, right? Thomas Jefferson said if we ever come down to just 2 parties, we're doomed, because one party will absorb the other. And who do you think's absorbing the people on the right? The left is absorbing. Look at Mitch McConnell, the biggest ass traitor I ever saw. And you say, oh, you're just, I get from him, my grandson, one of my grandsons. Grandpa, it's different today. I said, no, it's not different today. You just see more of it. It's more in your face. But people just become accustomed to it. It's like I used to say you can only kick a dog for so long before it bites back, but the dogs today in this country, they don't bite back. They go run and grovel. I don't want anybody to dislike me. I don't want anybody to dox me. I don't want anybody to take my social media away from me. I tell you what, we were a lot better off like that because we used to talk to each other, And like I live in a small town now. I grew up in Minneapolis, right? But you had them hangouts where we all knew each other, kind of, and we hung out together, Like my uncle used to come down to the truck stop when I first started driving. He'd sit down there every morning at 6 o'clock. He'd be with all his buddies, and they'd be in there eating breakfast together and have coffee and bullshit, It's like I've been in small towns, they used to do that too, but all the mom and pop places are closing, and you can't. Well, you go to McDonald's and you'll see some fossils from the old days that go to McDonald's and have coffee and stuff. But see, on this channel, I want to talk about a lot of things. I want to talk about politics. I want to talk about religion. The 2 greatest things a person could ever talk about. We're told, them's the 2 worst you should talk about it. Think about it. Think about it. Not here, but think about it from your heart. Your heart does think if we listen to it. This here would do a lot better job. But politics dictates how you're going to live your life while you're here on this world. Religion dictates, according to your faith or whatever you want to call it. I'm not putting everybody down. I'm just going to bring things to your attention and see what you think. I've changed my opinion on a lot of things. They're not my opinions, but my outlook on them, religion is going to dictate, your faith is going to dictate where you go when you die. A lot of people want to just believe you come in the world and you just die and that's it. It's not true. I mean, years and years and years, the church and science fought each other. You know, if you were a scientist and you came up with these things, that was a heresy because it went against the Catholic Church, which has been the predominant religion in the whole world, you know. The only one that's really equal to them is the Muslim faith, you know. Well, you got the Shiites and the Shiites. There's two divisions of Muslims. One's more peaceful than the other. But you know, I'm finding out all these things through science where just keep coming back to my channel, and I'm going to put a feed up here soon. I just got this thing working, and I'm learning to work the bugs out of it. I'm on a program called Prism. It's open source. It's free. Everything you see I'm doing on here for free. And this is just the basics. You got special effects. You got you know, you could put your audio in, and my chat is supposed to be rolling, but it's not on that monitor up there where this is being streamed from. I can see it down on my other monitor alongside my YouTube studio. So I've been on for 15 minutes. I want to try to keep my things shorter until I get things better designed and stuff. But we're going to be talking about motorcycles and cars and big trucks, stories about what I've learned over the road and behavior, how people drive, and, you know, all kinds of things, you know. And I'm going to bring some really shocking stuff to you too. So I got 500 channels that I watch on YouTube. I don't know, I can't watch them all every day, but I put them in my subscriptions, and eventually one of theirs will roll up on my feed. Oh, hey, I'll check that out. I ain't been in that one in a while. I'm gonna go back and check it out. I got to follow a guy named Greg Braden. He's the guy that wrote the computer system for the Star Wars missile defense system that's up in orbit. He's an anthropologist too, and he's just a genius, man. You know, been all around the world, all these tombed pyramids all around the world. They're not just in Egypt, ladies and gentlemen, and not just in South America. They're all over the world. We're discovering more and more all the time. They found one in Bosnia, right? And for 5 years, the anthropologists were trying to get permission to, you know, go in there and excavate the site and find their way in there. It was huge. They thought it was just a mountain. It, you know, looked like a pyramid. Well, they finally got a deal, and they went inside. They found the doorway into the pyramid, and they found one down in the Gulf of Mexico between Florida and Cuba. And Nikola Tesla was right. Those were not tombs for the pharaohs. He told us years ago that they were energy generators. And follow the science, you know, remember now, they say trust the science. Now, these are scientists I've been watching, and they're breaking it down, and they're going in there, and they're finding all these things, man, like in a pyramid, okay? Moses got the Egyptians and you know, or the Jews, and let them out of Egypt, right? Okay. All right. They just found a book of Tom. Well, I found it a few years back, but I just found it up just a couple weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. They found a book of Thomas. And that book is supposed to describe what Jesus told us, the pure way of the heaven, and how important we really are. Because see, when God said, let us make them in our image, it doesn't mean he looked like this, okay? God is spiritual, but when you die, it's energy inside of us. This is just a seed, brothers and sisters. It's just a seed. There's a spirit and a soul that lives within us, right? And everything is a frequency. Everything is a frequency. What you see through your eyes really isn't from light. It's sound. It's vibration, right? I'm just finding this out. This is totally fascinating. I'll bring you more. And man, you know, now when I was a kid, I always believed there was life on another planet, okay? And had people tell me, "Ah, you're crazy," and I guess maybe that's why I knew a lot of people, but I never really had many friends. The ones I did have, I valued them very much because, you know, respect is earned and loyalty is given, and people don't got no respect today. They ain't got no respect. Not that what you see, some of you folks ever got out of the god dang cities and came up and visit some of these people in these small towns, you would see. I don't care what color you are. I don't care what religion you got, As long as you're nice to me and treat me decent, I'll treat you decent. And I watched everything get so much better. And I remember watching Plymouth Avenue in Minneapolis, where I grew up. Plymouth Avenue, that was the divider where the blacks were moving up. There wasn't that many blacks when I was just a young kid. They just started moving up from the south, A wolf pack is bigger. I'm not saying they're wolves, okay? I'm just saying a herd, a pack. Some animals drive them away because they can't survive. There's not enough to go around, so they got to go out and forage for themselves. That's the same thing with people. That's why we migrate, And people migrate to escape persecution, White people ain't the only one that came over here to escape persecution. There's, look at today. You got Muslims over here. You got Hispanics over here. And Hispanics have been around here for a long time, We fought them in the Spanish-American War, where Texas won its independence and was a sovereign state until they joined the Union, see, there's so much history, man. So much history that they're tearing down, like, I didn't think much of Kevin McCartney. I'll cut this off at a half an hour. I know nobody's watching it, but I'm kind of enjoying playing around with it and talking, And this will be on my channel, so and I'll post it to Facebook. And if you want, you can come over and look at it, Where was I? Oh, yeah. Kevin McCartney. I didn't really trust him when he was going for that deal, the Speaker of the House, And Juan, what's his name? Fajardo, or whatever his name, from Fox News, was jumping all over Matt Gaetz, congressman from Florida, who said, "Why are you holding your party hostage with all these demands?" And the media is just freaking out, and left-stream media mostly. Yeah, why are you doing this, man? He's got the most votes. Why don't you just give in? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You just give in because they say you're supposed to give in and leave your values and your constituents in the dark? No. You support what your voters voted for. Okay? They want to change. They want to change. They were tired of seeing the Democrats spend all this money and investigate Trump, but don't investigate Joe. And with all the evidence that's against him, now you think about it. They've been after Trump for 6 freaking years, and they can't even get the man on a parking ticket. And this last one was all bullshit. It was an illegal one. And the January 6th insurrection hearing was illegal also. The two Republicans they had on were rhinos. They were Democrats. See, that's what I told you. Jefferson said, one party will absorb the other. Mitch McConnell. Oh, I don't mind being the Speaker of the majority. Well, wait a minute now, think about it. See, you got to think. You got to really use your head. These people don't go to Washington for just going to Washington. They're going there because they want to come out of there with something. And look at all of them. Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer. Look at all these guys are tied to all that money that got laundered over into not Bosnia, but Ukraine from that Bankman-Fried or what it was named, that Bitcoin, $6 billion, and all these people, and I think what's his name from the New England Patriots, Tom Brady, he lost a shitload of money in there, That money got funneled to Ukraine and was laundered back to Democrats' campaign funds. You go, Bob, you're just siding for the Republicans. No, man. Look what Mitch McConnell did, you know. He didn't want to support any of the MAGA supporters that were running for office, especially in Arizona. And, you know, ladies and gentlemen, I watched every single minute, every single second of all the hearings, all the investigations. Now, that's a chore because, you know, well, for most of us, because y'all got to work, and the other ones that don't want to work are at home playing on Facebook and video games, you know, and they ain't even doing shit but taking a free handout from, you know, the working man. And, oh, wait a minute, I got it. Wait a minute. We don't know what a woman is anymore, so I'll just say mankind, okay? Mankind. Woman came from man, right? She's my equal. My wife is my equal. She's not above me. I'm not above her. She's not below me. She's right beside me. Besides, she's a bossy little native woman that just, you wouldn't believe how mean she can get. But, you know, I don't know. I could keep going on and on and on, but I gotta remember to keep this short until I learn how to do it and get some subscribers who will even watch my videos. And I'd like to really get the chat going and see what my fellow Americans are thinking out there. I'll show you links to other channels that they're really awesome, where you can get the real scoop on things, you know. I was a big Fox fan, but there's not even a handful of anybody good over there anymore. Maybe 5, 6, you know. I used to be a big Hannity fan, not anymore. But the only ones I really like over there anymore, I like watching the 5 with Greg Gutfeld. I think the dude's, he's a freaking genius. He's hilarious, you know. And Jesse Waters is the same thing. I really like him, you know. American. If people even understood what it meant to be an American, you'd all be changing your minds. You'd be leaving that Democratic Party faster than you could spit in the wind. Or, did I say that wrong? No. Faster than you could spit over. Never mind. We'll try it better next time, okay? Yeah, but we're going to be talking about things. I want to get some t-shirts going. I got a ton of videos to scan through and start putting some beer. Excuse me. And I smoke too much, but it's the only thing that keeps me calm. I got all these medications they give me, you know, for my heart and my glucose and, you know, oh, God. All kinds of shit. I got neuropathy too. My hands, my nerves are dying in my hands and in my feet, you know. My feet feel like lead weights, so I got to slow down and learn how to be slow, but that's not my style. That's the way I always was. But, well, I hope to see somebody come in and comment on it. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. At least I know somebody watched it. God bless. Later.